You know, I had this young woman and she had a white mother. Now, over the years, I've covered stories about, children who had white mothers and a black father. I remember the first interviews I did, conducted, I'm going to say, years ago with the young lady that was put out of her mama home for supporting Colin Kaepernick. And I did that interview with that young lady. And over the years, I've covered many of these stories. And these children go through it in these homes. And that's why over the years, I've told black men, stop impregnating these white women if you're not going to stay with them. Stop. Preferably you don't impregnate them at all. But if you're going to do it, stay with them. Because for those kids, a lot of times, suffer in those homes. Now, I want you to hear what this young lady says she went through in her household with her white mama.
So growing up mixed, with my mom being white, my dad black, here are a few things that my mother has said to me and my siblings and that she still stands by today. If we were at Christmas with her family, whenever we were leaving, she would say, all the color kids get in the car, or all the black kids get in the car. Every time we went to the beach, she would tell us before we got out of the car that she is staying here until she's our color. And we would stay there for about 10 hours. My mom had a friend, a white friend, with white kids. When we went over there, she was like, oh, my house is so a mess. I need to clean. My mom said, don't clean. That's what I have slaves for. And me and my siblings cleaned in front of those white kids while they watched TV the whole time. My black friends that would come over and my siblings' black friends would come over, if she made dinner or cooked at the time because she felt the need to impress them, she would say, you can eat here. And that she cooks just like their parents, so they should like it. Growing up all the time, she planned all of her kids and she wanted them to be that way. And she planned and she wanted mixed babies since she was really young, she said. And whenever she's angry with someone or a child maybe, instead of saying the N-word like ER, she says it with the A, but in the most racist way you could ever imagine. Let me know if you guys want a part 2.
Now, listening to what she says she went through growing up with her anti-black mother, that's horrible. That's horrible to be told I have slaves to do it. That's horrible to hear them being called the N-word. It don't matter what variation, because she knew what her mother was saying. It was interesting to say her mother say she planned on having those children because she always wanted mixed children when she was growing up. And that's why I tell brothers, to not impregnate those women, because look what those children go through when you leave them. That's horrible. That is abuse. And it's some situations that they be really messed up. A lot of times when they have a white mother, they use the term mixed because they love to say that term mixed. I don't really hear that terminology a lot of times when the mom is someone of some sort of melanin, right? But when it's the white mama, oh, I'm mixed. I don't like that term. It sound like you're referring to yourself. It sound like you're a dog or a cat. They mix with this, they mix with that. I don't like that. You're just a human being. And if she never said that she had a white mama, I thought she was just black. That's how I see her. The moment I look at her, there ain't nothing white in her. So to me, yeah, that may be your mama, but you look black over here to me. You know what I'm saying? But brothers, listen. I know some of these women push up on you. I know it's not always that you're chasing them. And like she said, her mama wanted them to have them children. But you wanted to have them children to abuse them? That's what you wanted to have them for? To sit up here and show off and say they're slaves and treating them different than the white children and say, the black children. No, like she called them black. She didn't call them mixed. She didn't call them that. Those of you who got a white parent, this world would never look at you as mixed. They will look at you. If you got a black parent, they will look at you as black. They will never, never, never accept you. Mixed don't mean nothing. You don't put mixed on your driver's license. What you gonna put? Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, etc. But just to hear how she, her and her the sibling went through that, I never could understand. So a brother that would just impregnate these women and just leave them with them. It's wrong, period. But if you're gonna do it, man, I don't support leaving your children at all. But if you do it, it's better to do that with a sister, because at least she's not going to treat them like a slave. You know what I'm saying? She ain't going to treat them like that. But there's so many of them that's got messed up in the head, too. There's a lot of them out there like her that's really psychologically damaged because of that white parent. Or that white parent wants to take them to all white enclaves. And then they're dealing with a lot of anti-black racism. They want to put them in a smack dab of Mayo land, and then these children are suffering that way, too. So let's say the mama isn't that way, but they take them to environments. Instead of putting these kids in an environment, at least it's a diverse environment where you got black, white, Hispanic, Asian, etc. At least minimum do that. I'm not telling you to go move to an all-black area, but at least minimum where they gonna get black people, they can have black friends. No, you want to go move them in rural America somewhere, or some city, go move them to Salt Lake City, Utah somewhere, and there's no black people. Those children need black people around. But you can prevent those problems because it's not really their fault, so I'm gonna say, because they're more comfortable around their people. I get it. Just like we're more comfortable around ours. So for them to go live around the white enclave, that's normal for them. The problem is black men stop impregnating them women. Like I said, if you're not gonna stay with them women, stop impregnating them. Because children are a choice. You can choose to have a child. You could choose that. I don't care what that woman said. Ooh, I want to, because that sounds like that kind of woman telling the black man, I want a black baby. Give me a black baby. And you got black men that really get off to that, and then we impregnate them when they keep telling them that. You got some they don't mind being fetishized. They don't mind. Some of them are silly and ignorant. But we got to protect our children, man. We got to protect them. And brothers, we can protect them by not getting their women pregnant. We definitely can protect them. Because no child should be subjected to that anti-black racism. Having children at the beach all day, 10 hours, because you want to cook yourself. Like a piece of, like in a frying pan. You can literally cooking yourself to turn their color. You're cooking yourself. That's not your natural color. It don't matter how much you stay in the sun. It's not your natural color. You won't sit there and call them children names, won't they color? But please, brothers, please, don't impregnate those women. Don't do it. Please don't do it if you're not going to be with them. Now, if you like Carlton, what's that, Alfonso Ribeiro, and you married one of them and you got kids with them and you staying with them, I guess so. But don't do it if you're not. Oh, no. And if you are with them, you need to make sure to teach them that they black. Don't have them up here. Well, they're mixed. No, they not no mixed. Because this world is going to call them the N-word. This world going to treat them as black. And you got to understand that. But that's a conversation you should be having with your white girlfriend before you get her pregnant with anything. Because when it comes to that, you know what I'm saying, that mixed stuff don't work. No such thing as mixed. Either you're black or you're white. It's just that simple.